Hello everybody, Robert Marzullo here with Ram Studios, and today I want to show you how to draw some different mouth poses. So let's get started. One basic way I'll start off with is to always show you a breakdown of the shape itself, the basic rudimentary shape, and that can be done with just kind of this M that's kind of stretched out. So try to always think of them as basic shapes like that. And I mean, that's essentially a mouth shape right there. Bottom lip is just a line, then it curves up. And what I tend to do is for the first one is to draw this very boxy, and I'll show you why. Um, another another stretched out M for the top lip, and obviously you're going to have variations of each of those, whether they have a larger upper lip, lower lip, and that can convey various things, nationalities, characters, male, female, a number of things. So just keep that in mind that you just vary those for your your different styles of character. Then a lower kind of half moon shape below the lip is kind of how the area of skin reacts, and that's a little bit too close. But the area of skin reacts below the lip, and then you get kind of how the chin protrudes right there. And just as quickly as that, you kind of have the basic shape. Now, by drawing this more boxy like this, it helps you to simplify it and understand it, and then you can go from there and deviate from that and make any number of styles that you're trying to accomplish. And the cool thing is about practicing drawing it even boxy like this is, say you're doing more of a I don't know, a cyborg type character, or I'm into comics, so I tend to draw the more fantastical stuff, or fantasy related stuff. So you know that boxy kind of look is perfect for that. So, but really, like I said, it's mainly to get your mind's eye focused around it and to understand it, and then you can do variations from there. And some people tend to have a more boxy animated style, and others have a more rounded, bubbly style. There's a lot of variations there. So, okay, so now we'll try some different expressions. I'll do one of the more popular ones, and that would be the comic book yell. You're always going to see that with superhero comics, and it makes for more intense scenes. You'll see in some comics they do it like every other shot, which is a little bit overdone probably, but it's hard not to do because it's just such a you know it conveys the excitement or the emotion or intensity that you're seeing in comics a lot. So there's the upper teeth. I kind of do a few rounded lines to the back, some of the gums, depending on how intense you're trying to make their lip flared up. And then the bottom shape's real easy. It's kind of this U shape from this angle, horseshoe. You kind of draw a horseshoe in the mouth like that, and then a line down that would connect, the teeth where they drop down. A little bit of the gum line would show there. Little half moon shape for the tongue, like that. A little shading in here to help portray the depth of it. Some shading below the tongue. The tongue kind of connects, to the base of the mouth like that. And again, that stretched out M, but now that it's on an angle, you just have to make sure that the one leg of the M comes this way and the other one's shorter in this direction. Always thinking in terms of some kind of foreshortening. And the half moon shape for the lower lip. But again, because of foreshortening, you're going to see more of this side and a little shorter leg to that side. And the opposite half moon for the chin, like that. And you see it just starts to come together that way. The way that the skin reacts from the expression of the mouth. And also keep in mind from this angle, just like these lines I drew here that basically show the upper part of the mouth that would connect to the cheeks and to the nose area. Always keep in mind that that's kind of this kind of shape. I guess a triangular shape with a box at the top. and then erase the box, something like that. And that's kind of how that usually reacts. So from this angle, it probably makes sense to draw a little bit of that line right there, then have it come down into the mouth there, and it's going to show that this area protrudes away from this segment of the face, which in turn is going to convey that depth. So if that makes any sense. So there's kind of a yelling face, and I'm just going to stick to drawing the mouths at this point. You know, I could obviously just keep going and get into the entire face, but I want to show all the different styles of mouths, or at least a good variation of them. Let's see, you know, for females' lips, um, start with a basic pose. Again, it's a moon M shape, but then kind of rounds down, or depending on the mouth, there's a lot of variations there too. And you know, definitely draw from life. An exercise I've been doing lately, it's kind of fun, is I'll take a picture of a model and then practice drawing that model, but then stylized into a comic book fashion. So it's like kind of like doing caricatures, but comic book caricatures are a little bit more comic seriousness to the expressions and to the, you know, the face or whatever, the person, the character, but so not so cartoony like a caricature would be. But it's, I'll tell you, it's a really good exercise, because what it ends up doing is it gives you a look into drawn from life, which I'm sorry is boring to me, but not in this way. It's not. So it gives me that feel, that outlet where I can do the creative comic book style that I like to do, but also makes me look at life and realize, oh, you know what? These shapes go this way. This one goes here, and definitely makes you take note of lighting, which is essential to getting good art. And you're pretty much only going to get good lighting ideas from drawing from life, so it is necessary. So, so there's a basic mouth, a little bit of shading there to make the highlights stand out. I try to remember only to highlight the top of the lip here, and then the rounded bottom of the lip here. And the reason being is, unless the light's shooting up and directly towards the face, it's not going to highlight this lower part of the lip here. This is going to be in shadow. And again, that's probably from me taking notice from drawing from life to see that, because I think before I was in the habit of making the lips look overall just glossy everywhere, but that's not realistic as far as lighting goes. So there's one. Now let's do a smile where we're just, it's basically the same type of mouth, but then you're going to show some teeth. So let's take that M, and we're going to roll the ends of it out up higher and more parallel with the top, or horizontal with the top portion of the M, the points up here, because now that the smile is perked up, obviously the cheeks go up and it pulls the smile up with it, or vice versa. So there's that. There's our upper part, and the teeth kind of round down like again, another half moon shape, like that. And then you kind of draw on the teeth, and the teeth always seem to be more pronounced as they recess back into space, and there's a little bit more shadow cast on them. It looks better for comics anyways to do that. And the bottom lip is just going to kind of maybe show a little gap, little opening, depending on how the smile is. And the trick is to recess or make this look like the lip comes back and connects under the top lip, like so. And that little shape there, and a little shadow under the lip there. Okay, there's a smile. Same thing with the lighting. And there we go. There's a smile. Okay, so Let's see, what's another popular one? As far as comics, and well, obviously, let's go back to the guys facing to the mean kind of grimace. Uh, I believe everybody refers to it as a grimace. I don't know why. It looks like more like a snarl to me or something, but to tell the truth, I don't think I've ever heard the word grimace until I started studying comic illustration, but I think it was a character on Sesame Street or something. Um, but yeah, like, so we'll draw the teeth showing. So this guy's like snarling, gritting his teeth. You know, apparently that scares people, makes you think that you're crazy. So you show your teeth, and this one's always been tricky for me to do. I don't draw a lot as much as I should. Um, I don't know, the shape of the mouth is kind of weird here, and some guys are really good at it. In comics, I've noticed it just make it look amazing, but mine always kind of come out a little funky here. But I'll give it my all, give it a college try here. So I'm picturing, and I try to picture all these shapes. When I struggle with something that I don't feel as confident with, like this particular pose, I just try to picture the shapes in my head and then slowly work them out. And a lot of times something that I don't feel as comfortable with, I'll just redraw it a few times with overlapped layers, or if you use a light table. I've been doing that a lot. I got a light table in the studio here, and I also uh, do that when I don't feel like drawing on the tablet here. And I'll just kind of overlay a few sheets of paper and keep working it out. I had a pose the other day that was extremely tough, and within a few revamps on the page, I got it the way I wanted it. So just keep that in mind that if it is something trickier, try to work out the shapes in your mind's eye, slowly put them down, change the shapes around, and overlay them with layers or a light table, and you'll be amazed at the change that you can get on something that you're just not seeing right off the start. Um, you can't overcome that with that kind of technique. So at least I feel it works for me. Hopefully it'll work for you. Yeah, see, I'm not real big on this, and I would draw the gums kind of on the side. And another way to make something look more villainous or ominous, if you're trying to do something like this, is just add shadowing. So, you know, maybe more shadowing to the back teeth here, where the teeth just start to show from the shadow. And let's see if that brings this out, because I'm not really particularly liking this one, but maybe just a little bit of the shadow here on the front ones. And you could take some lines like this. It starts to round out that form. And I know one way that would make this look a little more vicious too is more gums. Um, and one that comes to mind, if you really want to practice that type of pose, um, just draw it from any like horror movies. Horror movies are great for reference, because they always do a lot of shadowing, a lot of spooky effects. So if you're trying to emulate that kind of mood, just go to your horror flicks, pop them in, and watch those while you're drawing or something. All right, so there's another one there. I wouldn't say it's a great one, but it gets the point across. Okay, and now let's do like a pout, I guess. So with a pout type expression, we'll do a female pout. It's just going to give you that big lower lip and kind of a downward tilt on the sides of the mouth. And maybe here, let's try over accentuating the little bumps of the lip like that. Makes it look a little bit more pouty. And then let's make the upper lip even smaller in comparison. because you want the emphasis to be on that bottom lip. Generally when somebody's pouting, that's what they're trying to do, show you by sticking that bottom lip out there. And then, even with the highlighting, so maybe a very small highlight on the top of the lip there, if any, and then a nice big highlight to draw attention to the lower lip. And then maybe a deeper shadow beneath it to draw more attention to that. And there you have more of a pouty kind of look. Okay, and let's see. Alright, another real popular one we'll go for is what I would call kind of a sinister smile. So let's try that. And you want that smile to be real big and pointed. And now you see that M shape becomes just kind of like a stretched out V at this point. There's some angles on the side like that. And I want to make the teeth look like they recess back really far, get really small, and then really large up front. To really kind of, now in this case, really caricature out the smile. And then the bottom lip will have come way down. Like they just have this huge, stretched out, evil smile going on. And in this part, what we'll do is show a lot of the gums, especially on the bottom, which kind of just looks freaky anyways, so like that. Now another way, if you're trying to make this more of a villain that's doing this sinister smile, you can point out, do a few pointed teeth. Doesn't have to be straight fangs or anything, but or wolf teeth or nothing like that, but just a few kind of more points and crookedness to the teeth just always makes them look a little more villainous. Not to say people with crooked teeth are villains, that would be silly, but in comics it does seem to make them look a little more vicious and sinister. Okay. Now the other thing is, this top lip would be really stretched out and less existing because of that. The bottom lip you'd still get a good portion of, but same thing, it wouldn't be as big, more stretched out. And this would become tighter to the chin in this kind of pose. That's the other good thing to take notice of when you're drawing this stuff, is that how these different areas change shape based on expression. And I'm going to show you, I'm going to sketch in a little bit of the nose here because I want to show you that if you're trying to do a more villainous look, actually that gum line looks a little retarded, let me fix that. I'm even thinking this should be a little different. Okay, so what I was getting at is that to make it look more villainous or more ominous or scary, spooky, whatever, again, add more shadows. So that's why I left the nose here. I want to show how if you draw a big kind of blocked out shadow, say here's the laugh lines coming off to the side, and maybe we block in this whole area right here with shadow. And let's see, this lower part of the lip, get all this in shadow. I'll break the shading off right there. We'll do those lines again off to the side to round out the form of the teeth. Maybe shadow some of the gum down here, because I mean the gum's like really huge, but you know, for a villain that might look kind of cool. Some of the lines for the lips. Maybe shadow the entire underneath the lip right there. But if you see, just by adding that little bit of shadowing, it makes it look a little more gruesome. Gives it a little more mood. And same thing with here with the teeth. You know, you can just kind of shadow more of these where the light's barely getting back there and hitting just a bit of the tooth. And that helps convey some depth with that. Okay, so now I think we're running out of mouth poses here. Let me think. You know, and be sure to comment and let me know if there's certain ones that I'm missing that you're having trouble with. And you know, I hate to think that somebody's watching this video and they're going, God, I wish you would draw this one next, and I don't get to it or whatever. So just make sure you know, you let me know. You know, because I don't always know when I'm doing these. I'm just going, you know, going with what pops in my mind. Like this one, I'm kind of thinking of like maybe kind of a crooked smile. Let me see if I don't know if I'd even draw the upper lip here. Maybe just a side piece of it like that. The little laugh lines off to the side. Yeah, so that one's pretty easy. That'd be a crooked smile. You can get a little bit more into the gums and teeth. But a lot of times I notice too, if you're depending on what you're trying to draw, more and less detail is needed. Like that's probably the most detail I'd use on this particular one right there. As to where this one down here, because I'm trying to make it look a little more, you know, evil, I'd probably just keep adding lines and detail and shading until it just got really kind of gnarly looking, and then I'd be okay with it, you know, and say, all right, that's good for that type of scene. But if you're trying to draw more of the feminine like this, less is more. You know, you want to really convey as much information as you can with as little amount of line work to give a more sensual kind of look to that. So I think that about covers it. So hopefully this has been helpful for you, and practice doing some of these mouth shapes and see what you think. Let me know if there's something I missed and that I can cover in the next video. And if there's something, a particular area of illustration or anatomy that's bugging you and you need some help with it, just let me know and I'll try to incorporate that into one of my upcoming videos. Be sure to check out my Blackstone Eternal comic, which is now available on Indie Planet. And I got more books coming out. I'm working on book 2 right now. So try to stay with me if you don't mind and follow that stuff. And I'll keep uploading work and showing you what I can throughout my progression. So thanks very much. This is Robert Marzullo from Ram Studios. Be sure to like and subscribe, and more to come. Take care, and bye-bye.